Hi, Alan Schimmel, DevOps.com here with Jonathon Smart of Barclays Bank. And Jonathan was the very first speaker today, kicking off day one of DevOps Enterprise Summit 2016 London. Jonathan, welcome.
Thank you.
So Jonathan, your presentation was entitled, I believe, Oil Tankers to Speedboats, but it really wasn't a nautical adventure. It was about Barclays Bank, which is about 130,000 employees over
Correct.
40 countries, 50
Correct.
countries.
Correct, yep.
Did a little homework.
Yep.
And your DevOps Agile transformation at Barclays.
Yes.
And Jonathan, what was interesting, we look at the title and we get these ideas of big oil tankers down to small speedboats. But is that really what it was about, making smaller teams that are more agile, able to compete better? Or give us a little more insight.
It is, yes. Historically, Barclays has had a waterfall approach to work. 325 years old, and there's a lot of history, there's a lot of standards, and at some point in the past, we thought that was the right way to do work. We now know there is a better way to do knowledge work. And it really is about going from a series of oil tankers, large waterfall projects with large numbers of people over a large period of time, down to small multidisciplinary teams operating at a high cadence.
Sure. And Jonathan, when you say we learned now there was a different way, how did you learn that there was a different way?
Personally, my background, I started out as a developer on the trading floor in investment banking, and I've always worked that way.
Okay.
Since graduating, since starting work, I've always worked sitting next to the customer and working in short iterations and delivering frequently with fast feedback. I have also experienced waterfall, and it was a shock when I went to experiencing a waterfall way of working. And so I was fortunate that my early influences in terms of a working environment were naturally had agility. And because we were so close to the business, and really we were a combined product team, and this was in the early 90s, we knew as much about the business as we knew about technology. So we knew a lot about both. So there was a direct correlation to the business outcomes. We knew we were the first to market for a new product, and we knew what we needed to change. So then, over time, so passionate about this way of working that when we had a new senior leader come in and the new senior leader said, agile and lean is the way forward, at that point, hands go up to say, we want to help. We want to help lead the firm in this direction.
And how long has this process now been ongoing, this transformation?
So we started formally at the beginning of last year, so about 18 months.
Okay.
Prior to that, we had islands of agile, islands of agility, islands of DevOps, and now we're joining them up. And I think what's fairly unique is we're treating this holistically. We're doing holistic agility.
Yes.
It's a business strategy of agility, and it isn't just technology. It's the whole firm. It's all of the businesses, and it's things like HR and audit and compliance and legal and real estate.
So it's beyond Dev and Ops. It's the whole
way
business
beyond Dev and
unit.
Ops. It's Dev, PMO, Finance, Sec, Legal, Sec, Ops.
The way it should be. I'm glad you mentioned SecOps as well. So, Jonathan, we're here at DevOps Enterprise Summit, and actually a lot of companies such as Barclays, other financial institutions, other horses, as Gene called them, are here talking about their transformation. How do you, is this a good forum to facilitate learning and how, okay, if Barclays can do it, what can I learn from Barclays to take home?
Absolutely. I mean, it's an awesome event. It's an awesome lineup. There is nothing in the agenda that I want to miss.
Right.
It's a fantastic event.
So that the peer-to-peer and learning from, you're not crazy, other people are doing
exactly,
this.
Yeah. And so the learning opportunities, the sharing opportunities are huge.
Sure.
It's a fantastic lineup of non-unicorn companies. So kind of real companies with real challenges. Much harder to do this than a unicorn in a new company. To quote Gene Kim this morning, it's mutually exothermic.
Yeah, I was in there for that one, exothermic. So, Jonathan, one last kind of topic I wanted to cover with you, and that is, it is great to learn and everything with your peers. And it is non-unicorn, as you mentioned. But even more than non-unicorn, this isn't my first DevOps Enterprise Summit, and obviously at DevOps.com we cover a lot of DevOps and organizational transformations. The financial industry, for such a conservative, compliance-heavy industry as a whole, really takes a leading role in some of this agile DevOps transformation stories. Any reason why you think that is?
We're in a period of very disruptive innovation. We have a run rate of £10 billion sterling of venture capital money being invested in fintech startups. And they're out to disrupt large firms.
Like Barclays.
And we also have governments who are increasing competition by changing legislation to enable challenger banks like Atom and Mondo in the UK, for example. And then there's China as well. So Alibaba, Ant Financial, WeBank, MyBank, Tencent.
Yes.
Completely different order of magnitude. So Tencent, through their social media, have 800 million customers.
Wow.
They are selling financial services through social media. They have 300 people in technology with 800 million customers. That's different order of magnitude.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But so necessity is the mother of invention.
Necessity, and also for Barclays, there is a culture of creativity. And what's really pleased me has been, as I've been the servant leader on this journey for the first 18 months and so far to date, is there is a willingness to embrace change. So Barclays was the first with a cash machine, the first to do mobile payments with only a phone number, the first to do check imaging. So it's also about a willingness to be innovative, and I think there is a willingness to reinvent ourselves, knowing that we need to.
Absolutely. Jonathon Smart, thank you so much for appearing today with us on DevOps.com. Thank you for speaking here at DevOps Enterprise 2016 London, and continued success.
Thank you. Thanks, Alan.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is Alan Schimmel for DevOps.com.